with a will, right? So how to achieve this state? This is language, right? But language describes how our mind works. We think we achieve a state, and when we think we have to achieve a state, we still want something. And in the sutra, we were in the midst of it, and it was quite remarkable when you see the part at the end of scene 2b. So the sutra describes the insight that everything you see is empty, that actually there is no constituent form of consciousness, right? It's not so hard to understand this intellectually. I mean, you can try to pinpoint. I can try to pinpoint a thing named Daniel, and I would not succeed. So where is this thing? It is a mystery what I am, who I am. So is there something to know named Daniel? Is there something to know named Daniel for me or for you, whatever name you have? Is there a thing? And it is incredibly redeeming to recognize that no, there is no such a thing. And the conclusion of the sutra goes far deeper for the insight presented in the Heart Sutra. There is not only no thing, there is no thing you can know. Right? And this tries to really transform your mind. You always think you have to achieve some new knowledge. And when you have the urge to do so, you presupposes this thing that has to achieve some new knowledge and the thing you have to know, right? And you can just watch your mind work, trying to do that. And what the sutra tries to redeem us from are all these presuppositions of we are here and there is something to know. But what always happens is you think you get an insight and now you know something and you on some side and you have some certain philosophical positions and there are others who have different opinions about stuff and the windmill goes on and it is the mill of suffering according to Buddhist teachings. But what is the redemption that enters our mind? What is the redeeming dimension? The redeeming dimension is you don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to gain some insight. Everything you need is already there. It is already there. And behind, really behind your ego-centered awareness, your awareness that is always tied to this tiny little idea you have about yourself. Behind of that, when you get rid of your will, you have everything. There is nothing to achieve. When you see that there is nothing to be known, you know everything. It is actually so paradoxical. You have everything, and it describes a certain experience, an experience in which the borders between your self-awareness and the awareness of the ocean of consciousness itself are vanishing. And when they vanish, it's just an experience that the thought that you have to gain anything is just weird. It's not accessible anymore. Guys, that was just an introduction, and I hope it's not too confusing. I was sitting down in front of the Heart Sutra. I was going through it again, and I felt how personal the last 5 to 6 weeks were for me when I started this journey. And we were listening to the Heart Sutra, and we will listen to the Heart Sutra again today. I just recognize how that changed myself and how it really, yeah, it is hard to describe. So maybe we should stop describing and start just being here. And I'm pretty grateful that you're with me and that we are connected via this marvelous technology. And representing this connection, let's take some breaths together. You don't have to be deep. You don't have to control your breath. Just become aware that it breathes there. There is something breathing. And through all of that, feel the tranquility. And allow yourself just to be without a will. Breathing is something you don't have to want. It is something you do not do. And it is a miracle that you just here right now breathing without wanting something, without doing something. So just witness. And maybe for a first round, let's observe our current mental illusions. The thing that always wants things, that always wants something, that fears something inside of us. And somehow this thing is barely satisfied, always chasing. Do not identify, just observe. And now, when you disidentify with this thing that always wants a thing, try to connect to the observer. The thing that sees, that observes. And anchor your conscious awareness right in the center of your body. Just be. The Heart Sutra, properly translated, is called the Mahayana Heart Sutra, the Heart Sutra of the Great Vehicle. And why, oh, big vehicle? And why do you need a great vehicle, a Mahayana? Because it is not possible for one person to reach awakening. It's not possible. Because there is no such a person as a thing that achieves awakening. Therefore, you need a huge vehicle where everybody has a seat on the path of awakening. And the reason for that comes clear the moment the distinction between yourself and everybody and everything more and more vanishes. And this is my invitation for a second round. You observed your mostly deluded identification. Question arises, if I am not what I always thought I am, who am I? Who am? Who am I? I most time use the analogy, the feeling of a drop in the ocean when you watching the stars and the vastness of the universe. That switches into the feeling, I'm not the drop in the ocean. I am the ocean in a drop. So there is maybe this other person, and you feel their pain. You also feel their happiness. in a way that the distinction vanishes and you just sense deep notion of unity. And you immediately see that it's not about yourself reaching awakening. It is about being there and seeing and embracing. Embracing what is there. And this is my invitation for this moment. Embrace what is there. Because when you observe your deluded ego, you will see that there is no illusion. There is no such thing. And if you sense that, this is close to redemption. There is no such thing as delusion. And paradoxically, you still have to walk the Prajnaparamita. This is the unsolvable paradox of Zen practice. You're already awakened, but yet you have to sit to be there. And this is I invite you to for the next round. Just be and feel this tranquil peace that reaches your mind from the seemingly other shore. What you can realize is something weird. You no longer have to worry. You actually no longer have to bother. Everything is there. And yet, there are people suffering deeply, big time. So what would be natural? This is the nature of Bodhisattva Avalokiteshvara. By seeing the skandhas empty, principles of all formation empty, he redeems all suffering beings. By seeing that there are no suffering beings, he brings redemption into the realm of the mind. And when you see the border between yourself and every other person vanishing, you will feel a deep dimension of connection and love. And this is Bodhisattva Avalokiteshvara, revealing himself as your own inner true nature. So let's listen to Avalokiteshvara. Let's listen to Heart Sutra, Maha Anya Shingyo, chanted in the voice of Avalokiteshvara. So because all of that, finally, there is nothing to be known and there is nothing to achieve. So why to walk the Prajnaparamita? And how to walk the Prajnaparamita? This is the essence of the great Mahamantra, Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhiswaha. You think there is something to achieve? Go beyond. You think you know something? Go beyond everything you think you know. Still think you have to go somewhere? Go. Go beyond this somewhere. This path is not easy. And it is not relaxing. But it is, in the end, redeeming. It redeems us from all the urges, all the sorrows, and from all the suffering which is tied to our tiny little image of ourselves, of others, of the world. Everything is suffering. So because of that, finally you don't have to go anywhere. When the Buddha saw this truth, he first refused to teach. He refused to teach because it was clear to him that this is too much. No one will get it. Everybody will bow. Far too much for the human mind. And then Indra, the goddess of the crystal net of the cosmos, reached him to convince him, maybe you have a chance. And if not you, who else? Again, a tiny little story. It historically never happened, but therefore describes an eternal process. It happens inside of us. all of us. For a last moment, maybe right now, you sense this unconditional peace. Peace that was never endangered. Unconditionally still and tranquil. And if so, try to build up a connection to this dimension. And this connection, as it deepens, will step by step redeem your existence. And if you ask me, this is what meditation is for. So I will end this meditation by expressing deeply my gratitude for the last couple of weeks. Where I tried to bring this here, and miraculously you still there. And sometimes it is you reach this point and it's weird, you just want to stay there. It's like paradise, right? It's, it's like you are staying in the middle of the world. And with the tip of your toe, you tingle paradise. Thank you. Thank you all. I will try to find the buttons. There. I think we can talk a bit, right? Maybe we should. You should see raise hand one on 3 o'clock. And if you click on it, I should see you here on the board. If I find the right button, we could talk. Shell, how are you doing? Hey there.
Daniel, I am so appreciative of what you go through to put all these insights, uh, making positive out of negative. And uh, you see the net world as negative too much because of nuisance, uh, what do you call them, beings around our mentality,
Yeah,
hindering our progress. And not that the progress is going to amount to much anyway, except for maybe a new contemplation. But you've brought everything together in one time, and we're very grateful because I felt everything in that every sentence, and uh,
great.
felt empathy for you as well, like suffering in this period, and
Yeah.
fantastic what you do.
Thanks for being with us, Shell, for all this weeks. Yeah. And I think it was not as much me as it was Avalokiteshvara. Dharmadev. Hey, hey there.
Hi. So
Hi.
I'm gonna I want to tell you a very short story. And then I'm very interested in how you can help me understand this.
Yeah.
Okay. About 13 years ago, I was diagnosed with a stage 4 cancer. I had
Yeah.
13 large tumors in my liver, and my doctors told me I had 3 months to live.
All right.
And um, they recommended surgeries, and I went to my friends, and my friends said, "We'll be with you, let go." And I went to a former teacher, and she said, "Is there someone there you're trying to save?" And then I went to my Roshi, who ordained me as a student, who gave me my Buddhist name and all these things. He said, "Have surgeries, and I will be at the hospital every day."
Yeah.
And he did not say, "Let go." He
Yeah.
did not say, "Is there someone there you want to save?"
Yeah.
He said, he, he said, "We will get through this together."
Yeah.
And shockingly, I'm still here 13 years later. Nobody
Yeah.
thought I would live, not my doctors, no. And there's a form and emptiness there
Yeah.
in that story. And I think that what my friends said had wisdom, and I think what Roshi said had wisdom. But then I remember the story of the Buddha when the Sujata came and gave him sweet rice when he was dying.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, she didn't walk by and say, "Well, not my problem." And what my Roshi went through for me is unbelievable. Whatever
Yeah.
he was doing that day, he came to the hospital.
And
And
yeah.
how do you reconcile that with emptiness?
Yeah. I think Hiroshi was really aware of emptiness and aware that the form in which you appear is emptiness, and he was so aware of his role, which was in that moment just being there for you. And I am so glad that he was there
Nietzsche, I
for
love
you,
him. Thank you.
with you
Thank you.
in this moment, in this hospital, to really see through this moment and what was necessary in this moment, because that everything is empty doesn't mean that there is no thing,
Okay.
right? It's
Yeah.
everything. This is the Madhyamika, this is the middle path, right? And thing, you have to take it seriously, right? And he took it seriously in that moment, that he was there with you, and you owe him, I think, at least a part of these 13 years,
Oh,
and
yes.
we owe him the fact that you're with us. And
100%. Is it,
as as far
is it,
as it concerns me, I'm pretty grateful.
yeah, thank you. Is it possible to be lost in emptiness? Is it,
Oh no, if you
no, okay,
if you see emptiness, you're no longer lost. If you
okay,
if you see emptiness, there's no possibility of being lost. I can just
okay,
only react with a different story. It might take a while. I try to sum it up, but there was this great tsunami in Fukushima, right?
yeah,
And thousands of people died in 3 hours without expecting anything.
yes,
And
yeah,
there was a temple on a small hill. Because this temple was on this small hill, it wasn't affected, right? Because the water went under this temple, went, vanished away, right? In 2 days, the water was not there any longer. Just everything was destroyed. And the priest said, what can we do? It's not possible to do anything. And the people reached out to the temple with all their sorrows, and most of them lost their whole family. they were screaming and crying, and then the Roshi of the temple, not knowing what to do, started the drum and chanted the Heart Sutra. And you saw crying and weeping went to silence, and everybody was chanting the Heart Sutra. Afterwards, there was just silence. And that was one of the, when I saw that the first time, was for me it was hard to describe. But there was the Mahahanya doing its work. And these are really the depths astral work. Yeah. I feel you, and we can talk later about that. But Dharmadab, I'm really happy that you're still here.
Thank you.
There's Ozzy. Hey there.
Hi there. I didn't expect to come in the line so quickly. I have no comments and no questions whatsoever, because when you have these Zen lectures, it's so interesting that I have never been in touch with Zen practice like before directly. Like I'm very enthusiastic about science and different things, spirituality included. And like lately I got interested in religions and like beliefs all over the world, because I think the belief, that energy that we send to some notion that we believe in it, yeah, I think there's a lot of energy in that. So yeah, when I come to your lectures every Saturday, like Sunday, whenever I have a chance, I just really enjoy being here, because there's like silence in my head finally, and it's just like big empty space where just like I just listen to your words and like get lost in the echo for like thousands of years in contemplations and like thinking about what you just said, and then get into the next word and having another thousands of years of like reflections and thoughts and different projections of the future and like spaces and metaverses. So yeah, like I can't even describe what I saw, but it was very there was a lot of content and insights because of the emptiness. Your thoughts, like your ideas, they get directly into my core system, where like these are the core beliefs that I have that are going to overwrite some negative programs that I might have from like unlucky life circumstances or traumas or like difficulties that there's nothing or no one to blame for, and it's just happened and you have to deal with it to the rest of your life. And these core programs really help to feel tranquility and happiness every single day, and that's heaven for me. I feel like we're gods and we live in an unprecedented era where we can listen to the night of some like virtual space. I felt like as if I was in my home, where I could hear these sounds, and I'm in the field under the sky, and they're just these words in my head from nowhere. It could be like spiritually, like heavenly experience. It's like talking to the spiritual being or something like that. Yeah, it's just interesting to have conversations with you and your, I think, consciousness. There's no multiple plural for consciousness, as they say. So it's like all unity. I love the quote about the ocean. Oh my God, I just like, it's something that gives me goosebumps. I love it. That's it. Thanks.
Yeah, I use this a lot because it puts something in a nutshell, which is hard to describe.
Yeah, it's the second time I heard it, and I'm glad I have.
How you put it, there are different ways of explaining it, but most ways are pretty complicated.
Yeah, I would love to discuss
and this
that.
is the most easiest one. But you put it in a nutshell with feeling home, right? And this is a good way to describe it. And a lot of people describe it that way because it really feels like, all right, this is somehow a journey. And when I enter this realm of tranquility, it feels like a living room. This is sometimes this living room feeling of being at home, as far-fetched as that sounds. But yeah, this is a way to put this. Adi, nice,
love it.
nice to have you with us. There
Living
there
room, I love
was
that.
spirituality. So spirituality, if you want to talk, you will have the chance. Oh no, you're gone. Sorry for that. Guys, I just unmute all of you and just can stick around here as long as you want. And next week we will have our final session in this gorgeous, amazing world of alt space, and then we will just switch into the alt chat. And that will be the same world and the same thing without my boards and without the Heart Sutras. So last week that will be the last chance to listen to the Heart Sutra.
Maybe you could, come up
Fortunately,
with something
maybe-
new. Yeah, something more exciting than this.
Yeah,
Maybe.
it is harder to install these things there because yeah, it is the sound of a YouTube video, and it's I think I actually not allowed to show it here, but no one cares. And in the art chat, we all have to do things in law and order, and this is complicated. This
Uh-huh.
is just I'm made up this what's it called? It's kid, right? As a kid, just put it into a kid and brought it with me everywhere. So it's kind of my own kid, but it's the sound of a YouTube video. I find nice.
Mhm.
Guys, take care and maybe see you next week. And afterwards, the wonderful world of VR chat. Take care.
See you there.
Bye bye.